Hello, welcome to this week's The Church Office.
Thanks for stopping by.
I am here with Mrs. Lambrecht. Now, it's not the Mrs. Lambrecht that I grew up with. And when I say that, let me preface this, okay? Well, I've been here for 25 years. Anyway, so Vicky, you said, right?
Mhm.
So Mike's really executive assistant that we joked ran the show, but really ran the show.
She's still
Right.
kind
It's Mrs. Lambrecht. So I've had a Mrs. Lambrecht forever. This is Mrs. Lambrecht 2.0. All right. The fun thing about being in a church for 25 years is you get to see kids grow up. When I got here, Joe was in high school.
Okay.
Do you know his graduation date? Was it
2002.
It was 02. That makes sense. So he would have been probably a sophomore, right? He's probably a sophomore in high school in 99, something around that.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, I've watched the kid grow up.
Right.
I've known him for 25 years.
Yeah.
Right. So I've known him when he was a kid. And so, yeah, Mrs. Lambrecht. Right. So Chrissy marries who is now, full disclosure, Joe is in my golf league. He's a very good golfer. I enjoy playing golf with Joe.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah. So that's where it's right. So anyway. And I don't know if this is still the case, but last year, Joe and I played together. All right, we rode together, and we don't play together at full 18 a lot. But he came out and he joined Lee and me for our Monday round.
Yes.
And he shot a 71. He was one under par, and I said, Joe, is that the lowest you? And he said, I think that is. He may be lower since then. I don't know.
I don't want to scare you, but he has been keeping up with his lessons, and I believe the last lesson he had on Saturday, the words "elite ball striking" was used by
By
the
who?
instructor. By the instructor. So
okay.
I don't want to scare you guys for golf league, but he's gonna bring it.
Number one, I'm not scared.
Okay.
Because elite ball striking means I want you to come back for another lesson.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, that's a strategy that golf.
Because to me, elite ball striking means that you're all set. You can't go any further.
My point. Oh, that's you. Like, Joe, you don't need to practice. You're done. You're done. You're done. Get back here. Take care of the boys. Right. Get in here. All right. So, no, my point to Joe is obviously it was the company in the cart. Obviously, that's why he had a good round that day. So, anyway, so Chrissy jokes that she married into this job.
Well, I mean, I joke, but I mean, quite literally, I did. So,
Chrissy, introduce yourself. How you came to CTK? Sure. Obviously, you and Joe were married when?
We were married in November of 2012. Your dad married us.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, I started working at the school. I think this is my 4th year, but I started as a 3-year-old preschool aide. So I started in Sylvia's classroom.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But I didn't last long. So, Vicky worked it to where she worked from home on Wednesdays so she could watch Nick. Nick was still an infant. And then I could have a day not in my house taking care of other people's kids, which may not sound like a break, but in a lot of respects it is. It's a different change of pace, and it was great. And then when Mark got the call to Nashville and they decided to move, Dr. K approached me about coming to the office and taking over enrollment. And that has really just been the best transit, like it's the best job. Yeah. In my opinion, for me anyway. So
technically, what's your job title?
Do you have
a job title?
I mean, I've been called several things.
Assistant to the principal? Not assistant principal, assistant to the principal.
I would not be an assistant to the principal. Vicky would be the assistant to the principal. Okay. I've been called an admissions manager, enrollment manager, whatever. It's all enrollment. During enrollment season, that's when I really shine. So this is why I'm excited to be here, because we're coming up on that. But the rest of the year, I would just say that I'm a secretary right there with Vicky.
So you're helping,
So generally speaking, I'm a secretary, but then when enrollment hits, that's my time to shine.
So this is like college football recruiting season.
I kind of think of it as like when you're a tax accountant. You're an accountant all year, but when tax season comes, that's your busy season. So we're coming up on my busy season.
So that's your go-to in comps is tax accountant.
Well, I mean, I can't always be the most exciting thing. So there it is.
What's your background? What did you go into? I mean,
well, I've got a BA in English from Michigan State. My intent was to go into teaching. I had applied to the School of Ed, and anybody who's applied to Michigan State School of Ed, it's very competitive. Okay. I did not get in. And so I just took my degree and graduated. I've worked in a variety of positions. I've been in sales. I've been in recruiting. Anybody who's worked in the Detroit area probably has experience at like Quick and Loans and things like that. I've been there. I've worked in restaurants, which is where I met Joe. We were working at the same restaurant.
Which one?
It was Bravo Italian Casina in
fancy.
Dearborn. I know,
Fancy.
right? But we were both in between jobs, and it was it was a great gig. They offered health insurance, so for a restaurant to offer health insurance,
that's
but that's where I met Joe.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So this
English
job,
huh?
this job at the school kind of melds my sales abilities.
Yeah.
But also, I love being in a school. I love working with kids, so it's a really good blend. So.
And that's why we have the camera angle the way that we do today. I
didn't realize where it was angled.
We got in the back. We have the world history chart because it is kind of an educational theme today with our admissions counselor.
But I will not be discussing
world history.
No.
Well, no, you're an English major.
No.
Which Leah is an English. Leah is an English teacher.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, she's an English major. She's. Do you have a favorite author? Because Leah's like all about. Who is that? The Jane chick from Austin?
Jane Austen.
Oh, Jane.
Not Jane from Austin.
Jane
Austen.
Okay. I thought it was like Emily in Paris. Kind of. That was the same deal. Anyway, yes, Jane Austen. That's her favorite author. So Leah, she reads all the time.
Yeah.
You know what she says to us the other day? She said, because she was home over the New Year, she said, guys, I got to set a goal for how many books I want to read this year. I'm like, what? Do you think I'm leaning toward 20? I said 20?
That's a good goal.
Wow. So she's really, anyway.
So it's about a book and a half a month.
That's what I said 18.
2
I'd
books?
go 18, 1.5 per month. She said 20. That's what I said. Do you have a favorite author?
I like to read all kinds. When I, with my English degree, you're going to think I'm so nerdy. My favorite thing to do is to edit. If you have a paper that you need edited or rewritten or you need notes on or reworked, that is
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Then
that's
Oh, okay. Well, I've been tasked with writing up some intros to the education fair stuff.
Okay.
You just became the editor.
You got it.
Tax accountant.
Tax accountant.
And editing.
Listen. Some people just have it all, Jay. It's fine.
All right. Talk to us about the season we're in. You said so.
Yes.
Tell us about tours, registration, how it's going. There you go. Okay.
So we are going to be entering enrollment season. So we call it a season here at the school because we start with our current families and our re-enrollments. So that will be happening towards the end of the month. January 27th and February 3rd are our 2 current family enrollment dates. But I have started school tours this week.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
I started last night. So I toured some great families last night, had a lot of fun. I was a little rusty. I had to beg forgiveness if I stumble over my words. I haven't toured in a couple months. But everybody was great. Kids did great on the tour too. I really wanted to come on here and just, if you are looking for a school home, you're looking for a preschool, you're looking for a K-8 program, I would just want to encourage you to reach out, email me, call me. You can reach out to the school. Vicki will get you in touch with me too. Just come and check us out. I would love to talk to you, answer questions, all of that fun stuff. Open enrollment for the school is Monday, February 24th. Okay. So towards the end of February. So we've got a couple weeks yet. So you've got time to check us out, do your research, make sure it's a fit for you and your family. But I tell everyone, I'm just here to be a support for any family that wants to check us out and just welcome you to our awesome, amazing school. So.
All right.
Yeah.
My kids are all grown up. They all went to school through here, but I know this is the time of year when you start to think about that. It sounds soon, but
like it or not, it sounds very early because it's January and school isn't until August.
Right.
But now is the time
to
check things out. And we do, a lot of schools are early as far as their enrollments are concerned too. So it's always better to contact us now because if you contact me in August, I really can't be of much help.
Yeah, things fill up.
Yes.
It's just the way that it is there
Absolutely.
too. And so, yes, it's good to know that you're now starting tours. As last week I had the thermostat police mug, right?
Oh,
the thermostat police. Mm-hmm. This week I'm trying to bring a little good fortune to the Gunners, Arsenal, because they play this week. And so thus the mug here.
All right.
So it's good to know when you're having tours because I have a tendency if I see lights on to turn them off.
Yes.
No matter why they're. And so Chrissy on more than one occasion has said, Jay, I have a tour. leave the lights on.
Yeah, and I have been known to text you just tours.
That's
so
all I need to know. Yes, tours.
Tours.
5 to 7. Yes,
Yeah.
just leave the lights on there too. Hey, speaking of kids, tell us about your kids. Tell us about your family.
Oh boy, so obviously married to Joe. So when I say that I've married into this, so my father-in-law John, he came to school at CTK. Joe and my in-laws were also students of CTK.
Yep,
now we're
sure.
blessed to send both of our boys here as well. So Ben and Nick. Ben is 8. He is in Mrs. Pomeroy's 2nd grade class.
Okay.
Ben is, I mean, how do you describe Ben? He's a character. Passionate about trains.
Yep.
Excellent reader, kind of a goofball. And there's no gray area with Ben. It's either black or it's white. I mean...
Walking into chapel today.
Yes.
I had chapel today.
Okay.
So Ben, who's the 2nd grade paired up with? Are they paired up with 4th grade?
I think they were in with 4th grade today.
Yeah, I think they were with Mac and Kels and that. And they're walking in.
Oh gosh.
And Ben is he's just kind of opining. He's just kind of like man, I wish I would have worn my tank top today.
Which is funny because he owns no tank tops.
He wanted to just, I think it's not just the tank top, but he wanted to, I think, throw the tank top over the uniform. I'm not sure where the tank top fit in, but he was very adamant.
If there's anything we know about Ben is that if it's not shorts and a t-shirt, he wants nothing to do with it. Uniform days are kind of a drag.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we're obsessed with tank tops lately.
Yeah, apparently that's where he's at. He
owns 0.
Really?
So
okay.
Maybe we'll have to cut the sleeves off his polo. I don't know if Dr. K will allow that, but...
My son Joe was the same way. You could not get him in a uniform. His thing was he hated buttons. Anything with a button, Joe would lose his mind. He's like, buttons, no buttons, no buttons. That's like the joke in our family to this day. All right, Joe's 25, so to this day we can just say no buttons, and we just make fun of Joe. It's kind of fun stuff.
I can relate to that absolutely. And then we also have our Nick. Nick is 4.
Yep.
And he likes to say that he will be 5 in a couple months. He's very excited to be 5, but he is in Mrs. McFadden's 4-year-old preschool class.
So you'll have a kindergarten and a 3rd grader.
I will have a kindergarten and a 3rd grader next year. Yes.
3 years coming apart. All
yes.
Right. Yes, that makes him like what, 8 and 5? Makes him 12 and 9.
Oh.
So senior freshman.
Wild to think that far ahead, but
that's true. I'm sorry, I shouldn't rush it. I shouldn't rush it, but yeah, that's what.
That's all right. Sometimes I want to grow up a little bit, guys. Yeah. But other times,
Yeah, Leah and Becca were about 2 years apart, so rolling through there.
Yeah.
And then Joe was about 5 years younger than Leah, so that's what it was. Becca and Joe were the 3 years apart.
Okay.
And when you get that middle child, young boy, their interactions in high school were interesting.
I believe it. I believe it.
All right. Anything else there, school-wise? What do we got going on? Just to know that we got those dates set.
Yeah. Okay. Reach out to me. Yep. I have a tour schedule that I can email out, but I always want to talk to a family first, make sure they don't have any initial questions. So, please feel free to call, email, and I'll call you, whatever you want to do. Yeah. You can go to our website, click schedule a tour, fill out the form. It comes right to my inbox and I'll contact you. And then we just go from there. I'll get you all the information that you need. And
Perfect.
Yeah.
So PJ is in St. Louis. He is, they have classes at the seminary for a full week. And so this is his New Testament class.
Okay.
So that's where PJ is this week. Next week, I'm actually out of town.
Oh, where are you going?
So there's a conference in San Diego.
Oh,
so I'm heading to San Diego for a conference. We leave Tuesday. Denise and I go Tuesday. We're back Saturday. You know who's going to be at this conference is Tom Zelt, the author of The Linchpin. This poor guy has no idea what he's in for. I'm going to stalk him. I'm going to so fanboy Tom Zelt.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be...
Are you going to get it autographed?
Oh, a couple of them, yes. Yes, this guy. This guy's my hero. I actually heard him talk because, at one of the conferences we went to, he was a presenter.
Oh.
So I heard him there. And that was about the time I was getting into resurrection apologetics. And I just loved it. And so, at some point, Tom Zelt is going to say to his wife, oh, no, here he comes.
I mean, maybe you can convince him to do a church office on location. And,
man.
Dream big, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. At some point next week, Tom Zelt is going to fake a phone call.
Okay.
I can guarantee that.
Okay,
no. So we're looking for that. So we'll be, so I'm not sure what we're going to do next week. I might do that with Tom or somebody else. Oh, the other thing, Chrissy, that we're doing, because you help out with this, Hope Chest Friends.
Yes.
Our care point in Guatemala.
Yes.
Okay. February, we're having kind of a mini push. That last Sunday in February, we're hoping our goal is 7 signups. There are 14 kids that are not sponsored.
Okay.
We are sponsoring with us in Bethlehem Lutheran.
Right.
142 kids.
Which is amazing.
Which think of my families that is too. You have some brothers and siblings.
Absolutely.
But you're at least 100 families, I have to think. And there are 14 children connected to that care point in San Antonio, Guatemala that are not sponsored. And so our goal here in the next couple months is to, if we can get 7 in Bethlehem, we can get 7, we get them all covered. But even if we just get a few. So Chrissy helps with the posting on that Facebook page.
Yes.
And so we'll be working here the next couple of weeks to probably post a video.
Great.
Bethlehem took a trip in the first part of December.
Oh, okay.
And so they have some videos that are on the Slack channel, which we can post.
Nice.
So
we can do that.
And posting this will be interesting because PJ usually posts this, right? I'm recording on my phone. And so I'll be talking to PJ later this afternoon, probably a 45-minute discussion as to, hey, PJ, how do I post this again? So that's PJ doesn't know that's in his future, but
I'm sure he's got a hint,
a
whiff of that. I'm sure he knows it's coming. Come on.
All right. So a little bit of fun today.
Yes.
Okay. Chrissy and Joe are huge fans of the sitcoms. Would you say you're Seinfeld or The Office? Which one more?
I mean, I probably lean more Office, but Seinfeld is a favorite.
Seinfeld is a favorite as well? Yes.
Yes.
And so going back to Seinfeld, I watched that when I was at the SEM.
Okay.
You got to remember that I was at the SEM in the 90s. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I remember Seinfeld. So we were kind of joking is favorite, let's say, non-main characters of the Seinfeld characters.
Which is so hard to choose from because there's so many
There's a ton of
quality supporting cast.
Have you seen there's this thing that has like the 4 Seinfeld characters and then it has like
it's like a family tree almost.
Yeah, it's like it connection. Yes, it branches out as to how many people were in there. And you look at it like, and there's some famous actors and actresses who are in there.
Absolutely.
Like Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
Right? For,
Wally.
So you got there. It's like, wait a minute. He was in Seinfeld. So anyway. But yeah, your favorites there. Or do you have some?
Well,
some that stick out.
I mean, the number 1 is Frank. Frank Costanza, you just can't, he has to be number 1. But I mean, there's also Newman.
Yes, exactly.
You have to have that nemesis.
Yep.
Newman.
Yes.
Putty.
Yep. Classic.
Like his dumb blank stare and just nonchalant attitude is just so quality to me. Like it's just,
you stole my Jesus fish. There's iconic lines in there that are just, you have the high talker, the close talker, the low talker. I mean, just so many things. You've got no soup for you. Yada,
Serenity
yada,
now.
Yada. Serenity now. That's Frank.
Serenity now and insanity later. Yes.
Is
Mandelbaum.
Is anybody here a marine biologist? And just one after another. So, Chrissy, here's my dilemma is when I started watching it, because the parents are a set, right? You got Morty and Helen, Jerry's parents, you got Frank and Estelle.
Yes.
Watching it when I was younger, I would laugh at those old people. Now I am the old people.
Yeah, but isn't it funny? Like they look so old, and like I don't feel like we look as old as they look.
I laughed at Frank Costanza. I now am Frank Costanza.
I think that's a push,
George,
but all right.
I'll get to be more like Lloyd Braun. Serenity now. Anyway. All right, good stuff. Office fan 2, favorite Jim prank on Dwight. This is always a fun one. I think this is a personality. This reveals your personality. Favorite Jim prank.
Oh my gosh, I better think of those.
I'll give you mine. There's 2.
Okay.
Anytime he put anything in Jell-O.
Well,
remember, so he put the stuff in Jell-O. Remember when he put Andy's stapler in Jell-O?
And he punched the wall.
When he went to the
although I do like when Jim put his phone in the ceiling.
Yes.
You hear just keep hearing it go off.
Yes. But the best has to be when Dwight goes to get something out of the vending machine and Jim has taken everything from his desk and put it in the vending machine. And he goes, Dwight resigns himself to the fact that he's now going to have to buy his stuff back. He goes to get his wallet out of his back pocket. His wallet is in the vending machine. That's good stuff. The garden party when Jim wrote the book about the garden party. Dwight's doing all this stuff. I've only sold one copy. Right? James Trinkington. Trinkington? That's just good stuff. All right. Yes. Do you have a favorite? Do you have one that jumps out of you there?
I really have to give it like some thought.
All right.
I feel kind of on the spot with that one. But
Okay.
I do.
That'd be part two. That'd be part two. You'll come back. You'll be a repeat guest.
When he wrapped the desk in wrapping paper and then he went to put his briefcase down, it just collapses. That was pretty great.
When Dwight's on the exercise ball. How much does that cost? Man. When he moves his desk into the bathroom. See, they're just, it's The Office and Seinfeld, the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Lambrecht, this has been great. This has been fun. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I hope I wasn't a suitable replacement for PJ while he was away. Nothing replaces PJ, but...
Yeah, it's not as much fun when he's here. But we'll get through it. He'll be back next week. All right. Thanks for stopping by. We'll check in with you next time.